Present in the room, as is the applicant, Griffin Tanner.
Okay,
I think we're good to go.
all right. With that, I will call to order the special meeting of the Oxford Planning Commission. Today's date is Wednesday, March 24th, 2021. It is 10:03 according to my clock. Commissioners, we have one item on the agenda. You have received it. It's public hearing for case 2716. Is there a motion to accept the agenda?
I'll make the motion to accept the agenda.
All right. Commissioner King, is there a second? Commissioner Riddell?
Second.
There is a second.
Oh, yes, whichever you're looking for.
That's fine. Commissioner Freeman, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Murphy?
Yes.
Is Commissioner Rigby back with us? Hey, there's been a motion to approve the agenda with a second. How do you vote? All right, we're having trouble with JR. Can you hear me, JR?
Yeah, he says his audio is not working in the chat.
That's right.
Okay. All right. Commissioner Freeman, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Murphy, have I gotten to you?
Yes.
All right. Commissioner King?
Yes.
I vote yes as well. The agenda is approved by majority. With that, I will call for public hearing for case 2716. It's Griffin Tanner has filed a request for variance from section 3.2.8 regarding fences, walls, and hedges for property located at 1210 Harrison Avenue. All right.
Okay.
Robert?
Yep. This case is continued from the March 8, 2020 public hearing. At that time, planning staff presented a report based on a misunderstanding of the nature of the applicant's variance request. The subject property is located just east of the square and is the site of the recently approved site plan for Harrison Yard. This request is to exceed the 4-foot maximum for fences located in a front yard. The applicant wishes to enclose the patron area of Harrison Yard with a 6-foot black vinyl-coated chain link fence on the north, east, and south sides. The applicant states that due to the nature of the use, a 6-foot fence is necessary to maintain the safety and security of the patron area. A 4-foot fence is too easily hopped, either from the inside out or outside in. Inside out presents a potential for patrons to exit down onto Tyler Avenue, and outside in creates potential for the breach of ABC regulations. Additionally, the applicant will install evergreen shrubs on the public-facing side of the portion of the fence to provide a good neighbor facing. After completion of 2 additional site visits, staff is of the opinion that only the southern section of the proposed fencing requires a variance. The northern section is behind the front building line, is therefore not in a front yard. The eastern section is the boundary of a side yard as the gravel staging area, which functions as a separate lot. In both of these instances, a 6-foot fence is allowed by right. The southern section is in line with the southern wall of the bank of bathrooms, which could be argued to serve as a building front, but there is some uncertainty, so staff believes that a variance request for this particular instance is the best solution for resolution. Additionally, the proposed fence would be recessed approximately 5 feet from the existing retaining wall, which would remove the need to measure the fence from the base of the retaining wall in this instance. Therefore, the request becomes for 2 additional feet of fence height for the section of fencing along Tyler Avenue on the south side of the patron area. Staff believes that this is a reasonable request. The peculiar nature of the use and the property present a hardship for the applicant. The property is double fronted, and the building layout makes establishing the boundaries of any yard extremely difficult. Regardless, the need to provide for the safety and security of the patrons still exists. The reduced effectiveness of a 4-foot fence to control the flow of patrons in and out of the patron area would deprive the applicant of the use of the patron area. And our recommendation is that staff believes that sufficient hardship exists to grant a variance to allow for the construction of a 6-foot fence along the patron area perimeter with the following condition, that the approval is for the plan as submitted.
Thank you, Robert. Any questions or discussions from the commissioners?
I just have one question. Excuse me, Robert, this is Bill Freeman.
Sir.
Is there going to be a sidewalk along the south side, the continuation of that sidewalk from the front?
I'll let the applicant speak to that.
Currently, at this time, we've been asked to run a sidewalk to our entrance, which is in the southeast corner, closest to the bathrooms, in the drawing, kind of, closest to the Harrison Square condos. So that sidewalk would be continued about 8 feet and turn with a handicap ramp into it. But where that retaining wall is, would not have a sidewalk the rest of the way. You kind of see in that picture where it's been formed up.
I see the forms now, yes. And so what's going to happen with that retaining wall that's there now?
We are going to landscape, just really cover everything you can see with pine straw and then sod. Eventually, when we come back for the second phase of this project, which would be turfing in the rest of the gravel lot, we would probably match something, working with y'all on that. It was never really a retaining wall, but it became one. But we'll need to carry that all the way across. And at that point, we're probably going to do whatever we need to do moving forward. This is kind of phase 1 of 2 phases.
And what's your timing on that?
Yesterday.
So is there a requirement to put a sidewalk in there all the way down, Tyler?
We have not been required to put a sidewalk down the alley.
Okay, then maybe I have a question then for staff then about that. I would have thought that they would have needed to put one in. Is that not the case? Maybe Robert could answer that, or Ben?
Marvin, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, so this project went through a site plan review phase, and there was not a requirement to extend the sidewalk all the way down to, all the way around the property. And, that might be something that would be considered coming forward with an additional phase. But at this time, it was just scheduled to, or determined that it needed to come into that emergency access. And I think that was part of the consideration, and I have to speak with the engineer, but I think part of the, that this was determined to be an emergency point of egress only, just at that location at the, I guess it would be the southwest corner, that there was not a sidewalk required for the remainder of it.
To clarify, our main entrance is going to stay on the Harrison Avenue side that has about an 8-foot sidewalk that was, previously there, which would probably be one of the concerns, obviously, being if we had a successful night and a couple hundred people there, it'd be better for them to exit where that large standing area is versus traffic coming down that hill. So
I guess I just, I can see people also parking in that lot to the east where the park commission used to be up the hill, and people accessing it. I recognize that the main entrance is on Harrison, but people coming from all directions to reach it. So, it just seems like you're going to get a lot of people walking in the street at night without a sidewalk. So maybe in future phases, if that's something that can be looked at, I would definitely recommend it.
We can certainly take a look at that. And Marvin, to your point, there are sidewalks. If they were to park there are sidewalks that would help people navigate to the main entrance of this location over on 14th Street.
Okay, thanks. Those are my questions. Sorry, Ben, Bill, I think I interrupted.
No, that's all right.
Any additional comments or questions? All right, hearing none, I will entertain a motion as to case number 2716.
Motion to approve.
Commissioner Freeman, do you have a motion?
Yes, I move approval.
All right, thank you. Commissioner King, is there a second?
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Commissioner Riddell, how do you vote?
Yes.
Is Commissioner Rigby still with us?
Yes, I vote yes.
All right. Commissioner Murphy,
Yes.
Commissioner Freeman,
Yes.
Commissioner King.
Yes.
I vote yes as well. Have we gotten everybody, Ben?
Yes, sir. That's everybody. Thank you.
Okay. All right. With that vote, the variance is approved. Any additional business?
Not from staff. Thank you for participating in this special meeting.
Certainly. Having no additional business from staff, any additional business from commissioners? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Commissioner Freeman, is there a motion?
I move we adjourn.
Commissioner King, is there a second?
Second.
All right. Commissioner Rigby, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Murphy,
Yes.
Commissioner Riddell,
Yes.
Commissioner Freeman,
Yes.
Commissioner King,
Yes.
and I vote yes as well. Thank you all. We are adjourned.
Great.